Hi guys, I'm really excited to do a quick, brief walkthrough of what your new home and detached ADU, what that's looking like, based on the couple rounds of revision that we've done with the planning department. Mostly it was annotation and clerical, add notes, clarify this dimension, so on and so forth. So the design hasn't changed too much uh, lately, right? There was a slight revision to the roof plan here at the uh, left side of the house. I'll say left side from the viewpoint of your road. This used to be a big gable roof here, but that was not compliant with the height limits. So we've changed that to a hip roof over the kitchen, and a continuation of this roof here at the pantry just looks fantastic. And then your master bedroom here didn't have to change at all because the height limit sort of follows your topography. And by the time we get to this point here, we're well underneath that daylight plane. But again, from the front, really nothing has changed much. Like even like though just talked about that change over here on the left side, I don't really feel like that impacts the overall design. Like, it still feels fantastic. I still love it very much. Okay. And then, if we go past the garage here, we'll see access to uh, the backside of your office as well as the mudroom. This is a water heater closet, not access to the mudroom. Um, we do have access to the garage right there. We've got some trash cans there. And then the ADU retaining walls have certainly gone through some revisions, but it's essentially the same, right? We're building the house, the ADU down, we're sinking it down so that there's a more comfortable gradual uh, grade and flow between your main house and the detached ADU. There's still steps up, of course. We're not sinking it down to match the house, but bringing it down a little bit. But it's still a very cute, charming design, simple, it is very simple. It's hard to make things simple. I'm proud of how simple it is, but it's still just as charming with its material palette and its window design as the main home is. If not, perhaps slightly compromised on windows. Certainly, it'd be nice to have some windows along the back here, but it's okay. None of these spaces are going to be hurting for natural light at all. And then looking along the back here, I don't think really there's been any changes other than some slight revisions to the window door rhythm based on your latest window spec, but it's basically the same. We've got these three individual patio spaces for the two bedrooms in the office, and then that stops when we come to the master bathroom and master bedroom. All right, so that's the exterior tour. Now, let's go inside the home. So come along here, and then by the time we get to this post, we'll know that it's time to look over here and see the front entry door. As we come in, we'll see a little bit of transom glass high above your TV on the other side. And we also have a skylight here, bringing light down into the end of this rather deep front entry. And we'll take a peek here at the great room beyond, but before we move past that, we'll see that there's access to the mudroom and garage here, as well as access to the corner office, very nice, as well as the relocated powder bathroom. So now we'll come back here and we'll take a look at what the experience is like to enter the great room with a huge vaulted ceiling. I wish I had the view perfectly modeled because it's going to be fantastic from these windows. There's that transom window again above the TV that gives an additional hint and clue that this ceiling plane floats down to be the ceiling plane of the foyer of the entry space. That's really nice to see that here as well as here, anchored by that skylight shaft. In the great room, we see a portal that also has a skylight in it. This portal leads to the two middle bedrooms, as well as to the bathroom. Now, this bathroom is landlocked, as is the powder room over here. But fortunately for us, we've got frosted glass in our doors adjacent to skylights. So when someone goes into this bathroom and closes the door, they're not going to be cast into complete and utter darkness while they fumble around for a light switch. No, no, no. They've got light coming in through those doors. It's fantastic. All right. Back in the great room, we're seeing this fantastic three-sided fireplace that acts as a space divider between the family room and the dining room. The kitchen wall here is where we terminate from the vaulted ceiling to a flat ceiling. And though that may seem, is it? Hold on, let's see real quick if it's appropriate to bring this over to here. Let's see real quick. This might be a change worth making as we go through the building department process. Do we like this at all? Bear with me. Oh boy, do I like that? I might. All right, uh-oh. I think I want to make a small change to the interior design here, because that looks just as good as before. And now maybe this wall can serve a structural purpose to help cut this beam length in half. Well, we'll add this to our design agenda. We'll talk about this slight revision. So let's see if I can just control Z through that real quick. And I'll control Y back to it, because I think I do like it very much. All right, so this is where it was before. We were taking that all the way back to this wall. And, you know, it's fine. It's an additional continuation of the vaulted ceiling. And then this was really sort of crisp, right? This was coming right corner to corner. Very, very crisp. That's what was really driving it. You know, this little bit here is fine, but it was really being driven here. All right, so if we control Y, no, won't allow it. Darn. It doesn't feel so bad. And then it does maybe give more of a logical reason for why the dining table is centered where it is. Or at least, I mean, of course, the dining table is centered between this fireplace separator and your pantry wall. But now the lights are also centered on its plane. So we'll meet and talk about this more in detail. I've definitely really lingered on that far too long. All right, the kitchen's great. Let's really quickly make sure that we're seeing our neighbors. So you do see her gable end roof, maybe, depending on how accurate I've been with this tree canopy. I have sized it per the topographic survey, but you know, the tree rotates as I rotate around, so it's hard to be completely accurate. But it's fairly screened, right? It definitely is screened the back patio space by that existing tree that we'll be protecting to remain. So I'm not concerned about, excuse me, I'm not concerned about the views there from the back. But the barbecue, so be it. I mean, it'd be nice to plant some more, and we will have some plants growing up along here, but they're not going to be screening plants due to the recently increased fire safety regulations that we have to abide by. But you're not standing here all day. And when you are standing here, you're focused on those things. All right, kitchen. Pantry has a really cool little niche high up above the refrigerator and a tall appliance wall here in the kitchen. We'll have all this space built in as an alcove for some additional storage against the back wall of the appliances there. All important window for natural light. Thank you very much for that. And then access into the vaulted master suite. High windows above your bed wall and a low window looking out to the front, and you'll see your side steps here for the patio, but that's okay. Nice wall here for a TV if you desire, and then access out to the flattened rear yard space. But from your pillow, from your bed wall, you can't really see. You can barely make out. If you put your face against the glass, you can barely make out one of these high windows. But unless someone's sitting up here on the counter looking out these windows, they're barely seeing your master bedroom. They do get a glimpse of the master bathroom windows, so some bottom-up shades, Roman shades, are going to be highly recommended here, or some rather thick shrubbery planted below the master bathroom windows. Because from the tub, from the shower, the windows in the backyard space are fairly visible. But that's easily solved with shades and shrubbery. Shades and shrubbery. Water closet and access to the un-3D modeled walk-in closet. Okay, well, now let's go to the backyard space to see the ADU. The ADU also, again, hasn't gone through any revisions other than some minor tweaks to the retaining wall design and the window design here for the bedroom and its egress. That was sort of a driving factor of the retaining wall layout that we have. But we've got a very nice front entry space that gives us access to a storage closet here, a coat closet and appliance closet. And then we get access to the ADU's great room with a kitchen and some seating area. And then back this way, we've got access to the bedroom. And the bedroom's got some windows, maybe not as much as I'd like to have, but it's enough for a bedroom of this size. And nicely, or importantly, it's lighting up what I've determined to be or left out as a desk space or a dresser space. So it's nice to have natural lighting, at least here in this corner. Walk-in closet there, and then directly across this hallway here would be its bathroom, which again, I haven't really modeled up, but it's a very decent bathroom with natural light there at a high window. Okay, well, that brief tour took a little bit longer than I thought. I got a little bit sidetracked by this ceiling design here in the dining room, and I look forward to talking to you about what that would really wind up looking like, or talking to you about what your final decision would be regarding that area, and then I'll update structural as we go through the building permit process. Not a big deal to take your time considering that area. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Looking forward to your feedback.